Now that the clothes are emptied from the closet, you get a true appreciation of how big the space is. Those ceilings are 9 feet tall, and the entire closet is about 9 feet by maybe 12 and a half. So that's really good space. And so with just the wire rack on its own, it's not very efficient for just storing clothes. So the next thing I'm going to do is take out all the racks that are attached to the walls, take down the rug, take down the racks that are inside that small linen closet that you can see, because I have different plans for that space. And then, just assess the walls and see whether there's any real damage that needs to be done. I have a feeling there won't be that much, because honestly, there wasn't much else attached to the wall. So I think we should be pretty good on this one. As you can see, all the holes in the walls, that's where the old builder grade shelf was. A couple of holes in the wall that I might repair. But basically, I've taken everything down, and the place is now, a clean palette. Those baseboards are going to come out. I don't know whether you can see the baseboards over there. All those I'm going to take out the rug and all the strips that hold the rug in place, and the underlayment as well, because I'm going to have new stuff put on the floor. So I also had this little closet I used to use as a linen closet. I want to take this out because it just doesn't serve any purpose, because it's very, very narrow. I'll show you. If you look at that, it's really narrow. It's about maybe 14, 15 inches wide, just from here to here. And I thought it would make a really good place to put in a linen closet, which I can take out. If I take out this whole thing, look at it, extends all the way up to the ceiling. That's about 9 feet tall. So that's really decent space. So I'm going to take out the frame and take out the drywall up to about here. And on this side, take it out to about here. So I'm going to be left with just the raw frame of where the linen closet used to be. And you can see my tools on the ground. I'm starting to take out the baseboard, and you can see that, right? Starting to pull that out. Using this tool here. And I'm starting to take out the frame. So that should be easy to pry out. If you look at that, I've already cut through a lot of the paint, and so it's just for me to use a crowbar and pull it out. So I'm going to do that for the entire closet. This door, I'm not sure whether I want to keep it. The jury is still out, but for now, during the renovation, I'm going to keep it in, because we're still using the bathroom that's through that door to the master bedroom. And so I'm going to keep this door as just a way of controlling the dust that gets out. And then later on, as I get closer to the end, I'll decide on whether I was thinking of either building my own door. That's something I've always wanted to do. So maybe that's something I can try. And then those are my light fixtures right now. I've got 2 of them across the room. So I was thinking of maybe changing those out, but that's for later on. But for now, I'm just going to change out the bulbs and get brighter light in here. It's going to make it easier to work in. But that's the progress I've made so far. I'm hoping that by tonight, I can at least take out all the baseboards and maybe that little frame, and I can start to cut through the drywall over there and see how much of maybe I might have to cut out like a little header above that door, like right there. There might be a header and maybe a couple of studs on top of that. So I need to take those out. But basically, I need to have just a nice clean palette so I can lay out the platform. I started to tear down the walls around the linen closet, and you can see it's not a very big space, but it is very confined, very tight space. So sometimes very difficult to maneuver any tools in there. So I managed to just cut out large chunks of the sheetrock after removing the door jamb and the door itself, obviously, and started to tear down. And you can see the header up there. I had to use a jigsaw to cut the door support, the framing of the door, take that down, and then I'm left with a nice clean palette where I just had to clean up, and it becomes a nice place to do the next build. The header was probably the hardest thing to take down from this space, just because the header wood tends to be nailed together very, very tightly because it's supposed to give good support for the door. And so that was a bit of a challenge to bring down, but eventually I managed to, and I had to get my husband to, help me to pull it down and drag the wood away. But yeah, so it was done. Big relief, because that was something that I really wanted to get done. It was going to be very disappointing if I couldn't get that linen closet opened up. So it is opened up, and I was very happy about that. So I made some progress. I finally managed to tear down that linen closet that used to be here. This place, remember the last video, there was a whole door over here. And so that's gone, and that's going to be the new place where I put in another linen closet, but better organized. And you can see it's a very messy job. I'm kind of breathless right now because I am trying to clean up this place. All this is drywall that I've used to cut out all that stuff from there. This is the stuff that actually I cut out. And as you can see, it's a very dusty job, very messy, but I am so happy that it's done. And then, so now I can actually start cleaning up and then building. After that rug came out, all the underlayment for the rug, the drywall, and all the stuff that came down from that little area, after all that was cleaned up, that space felt so different. It even felt bigger than it was before. So I'm really looking forward to this build.